Welcome to another episode of Keeping Your Business on Track. Are you struggling to make your open houses stand out? In this episode, we'll share proven strategies for hosting open houses that attract serious buyers and help you close your deal faster. Stay tuned and hit the subscribe button as we reveal the secrets to hosting successful open houses that work. So this is Joe Harris from Morgan Financial. I'm here with Lindsay Clark. Lindsay, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Joe.
Lindsay, you're in our business development team. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
So on our marketing team, business development is responsible for basically being the feet out on the street. We help our loan officers maintain their relationships with their business partners and past clients so that they can actually be in the office taking loan applications and servicing their clients and giving good customer service.
Okay, so we're talking about open houses today.
Yes.
Okay. And so these open houses, I brought you on today because how many open houses have you attended, would you say?
I haven't tallied them up, but well over 100.
Well over 100. Okay.
Well over 100.
So that might qualify you as an expert.
Yes, somewhat.
So we're talking about open houses that draw crowds and get people to come. What's the real point of an open house? Let's take it for a realtor's perspective.
Sure.
As well as why does the home buyer and the realtor, why do they both want the open house to happen?
I think both of them want it simply for exposure. So the home buyer wants as many feet in their house as well as many eyes and traffic on the house as possible. And the same thing for the real estate agent. They want to make sure that they get as many people in there as possible to potentially purchase, as well as gain feedback on maybe reasons why the house isn't selling.
Yeah, so the homeowner wants their house to sell. Mm-hmm. The real estate agent wants the homeowner's house to sell, or they want to capture maybe some traffic for business elsewhere, right?
Yes, I think you found the underlying thing for the real estate agents there.
Sure, but it's mutually beneficial.
Of course.
Both parties, and then that house might sell because the open house, mm-hmm. but it also might help the realtor get some other business for another property. And
sure,
like
we're in the business of relationships, so it helps them meet new people.
Cool. So what are some key elements to creating a welcoming atmosphere for open houses, and how can staging and ambiance play into this?
I think it is crucial when it comes to having an open house. There's nothing worse than walking into an open house that smells funny, that's darkly lit, or that just isn't warm and inviting. People don't purchase based off of facts and features. They purchase based off of feeling.
Right.
And if it doesn't feel good when they walk into the home, they're just going to turn around and walk right out, regardless of if it meets their criteria.
So once you get them into the house has to be inviting. It has to smell a certain way. I think some agents, they use the cookie trick.
They do. The cookie trick always works.
Yeah. They bake cookies. For those of you who don't know out there, they'll put cookies in the oven so it smells like fresh cookies, because who doesn't love that?
Right.
And so now, but you got to get the people there, right?
Certainly.
So how can an agent or a homeowner, whoever's doing the open house, how can they effectively market this open house?
I think a lot of agents, when they're first starting out, think, I'm just going to throw out signs and that'll get people there. Unfortunately, just putting out signs doesn't work. There is a lot that goes into pulling people into an open house.
Right.
There's a lot of footwork, foot traffic that needs to be done, as well as social media marketing ahead of time. Not just to your social media platforms, but also emailing to your database within the brokerage of the real estate agent, and leveraging other business partners' networks as well.
Okay. And so once we get them there, you got to get them there. Once they're there, it's got to be opening and inviting. But what are some best practices? I mean, should they expect the agent or the homeowners just expect the home to sell itself? Or what role does active role should the agent take during these open houses?
It certainly won't sell itself.
Right.
I think preparation is key. Knowing what days get the most foot traffic, particularly here in Brevard County, we're on the Space Coast. A lot of people are working for aeronautical companies, Harris, Blue Origin. They have a schedule where they have Fridays off. So there's a lot of foot traffic on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So knowing the times when people are going to be coming out to open houses is crucial, as well as managing your database and your marketing ahead of time.
How important is that engaging with the visitors for that agent and selling that house, and as well as gaining other business?
I think it's crucial, specifically to gaining other business going forward. There's nothing worse than feeling like a used car salesman's jumping on you when you walk into an open house. So you have to kind of do it in an appropriate manner. I mentioned not jumping into the show up and throw up and giving them facts and features about the house. One trick that I typically use, well, not trick, tip, I guess I should say, because it's not a trick, is figuring out the feelings or the why behind why they are actually purchasing. If you dive right into, look at this home, look at these cabinets, look at these floors, look at the pool, they immediately feel like they're being sold to.
Right.
So instead, be warm, inviting, have a conversation and ask them, hey, what brings you to the area? What are you looking for in a home? What are some of the reasons that you've decided to start looking right now?
Yeah, so I would say more of the feely questions to evoke some kind of emotion,
Yeah.
draw some emotion out. What brings you to the area? Like you said, just open-ended questions to help them feel an emotion of being in that house.
Certainly.
Right. And then maybe it's not the house they're looking for, but if you ask the questions, you might find out in asking, hey, we moved to the area, we have 3 kids, we have one on the way, we need a bigger house so you're going to learn a lot about the customer and their intentions.
Yep.
So, I think a lot of people, they see as open house as a tool for the real estate agent, but it does sell it's potentially selling for the house itself, which is why a homeowner would want it to expose their properties more.
Sure.
But how do you feel about that agent capturing leads at the actual open house?
I think it is imperative that they capture leads at the open house. The reason is the follow-up. They may not be purchasing that home right then, but how else are you going to service them going forward if you're not following up with them afterwards? And you
Right.
can't do that without a name or a phone number or an email address or a way to be able to reach out. 1, to thank them for coming to the open house. Not many people do that.
Right.
And 2, to say, hey, are you working with another real estate agent? I'd be happy to show you. I know this didn't meet your criteria, but I'd be happy to show you some other options.
Or they get feedback on the house. What did you like about the house? What did you not like about the house? Could it have been staged differently?
Sure.
How do you feel about the price? All these things is great feedback for that homeowner to get from that agent to
Yeah.
show real value to that homeowner as well.
A lot of our agents are struggling with the price conversation with their listings. They're trying to let their buyers know, hey, maybe we should be at this price, but the buyer's insisting that they go a little bit higher because their neighbor sold in
seller,
COVID
right,
times,
yeah.
or seller during COVID times, and they sold for a lot more. This gives them the feedback to say, look, empirical data to show you that this is what the price should be.
So how do you suggest in capturing those leads, let's say, are you suggesting they do a survey on site, or is it just a name and a number and an email address that they would capture?
I've actually found that if you entice them a little bit more with some incentive for them, so typically part of our process here at Morgan Financial is to actually do a sign-in sheet, but we provide a gift card. There's a raffle gift card at the end just for attending the open house. Who doesn't love a raffle? Who doesn't
Right.
love a good Starbucks gift card? And getting people to sign in that way. If they feel like there's something in it for them, typically they
Just
do
to
it.
be clear, the raffle there's no purchase necessary.
No purchase necessary.
It's not doesn't go to the agent.
No, it does not.
And it only goes to those people who signed up on the sheet. They didn't have to get a mortgage with us or anything
Correct.
like that. Okay,
It's just a thanks for coming in today.
gotcha. Okay. Following up. So you mentioned follow-up. How important is the follow-up, and what do you suggest for follow-up?
Again, going back to follow-up being imperative,
Right.
you have to follow up with these people. And you don't want to be pushy or overbearing, but if you're not reaching out to them, you're letting future potential business fall through the cracks. So following up with a phone call directly after, is there any questions that we didn't answer for you at the time? It was a pleasure meeting you. Hey, going forward, you had mentioned X, Y, and Z being things that you're interested in. If I come across these things, would you mind me sending them to you via email? And gaining their permission to continue corresponding with them, most of the time they will thank you for it, because
Right.
even though that's not their home or they're not purchasing that one, going forward, you might be able to find them something that checks all the boxes.
What do you say to the agents out there, or even the homeowners out there that are doing their own open houses, that say, listen, I don't really want to collect the data. I'm just, hoping to get a sale out of this for this house.
Well, to those agents, I understand your struggle. You don't want to feel as if you're being pushy, but it's part of our job. At the end of the day, it's our job to meet new people and to help find a solution to their needs. So I know it's difficult to ask people for their contact information, but truly you're doing them a service, and they'll thank you for it afterwards when you find them their next house.
Right. You don't have to be pushy with what you do with the information.
Correct.
But now you have information, you can follow up with them and do them a service. Right?
Certainly.
Awesome. So look, these are some great tips for hosting open houses that, so you want to keep you want to make it an inviting atmosphere. You got to get people there. So make sure you market it. You market it through the signs, but also through social media, maybe advertisements in a paper. Maybe there's some other, not that anyone looks at papers anymore, but maybe there's other means to get people to show up. Use your network. Right?
And use your network and leverage your business partners' network as well. We like to go on Facebook Live and do videos, and then we'll drop a little link for that listing. So even though maybe 5 people came through the open house that day, maybe there's 3,000 people within my social network sphere, and they might see it and click on that link. So it's about that exponential exposure.
And then so leverage your business partners, their networks, their people. And then, capturing leads is not only important, it's imperative. Not only to help, maybe if you're the agent side to get more business, but even if you're a homeowner doing a DIY open house, that you still want to capture these leads to follow up. Hey, what did you like about the house? What didn't you like about the house? How was the price? And then finally, following up, you follow up with those leads to get the business. So it's not just what happens at the open house. It's as important what happens after the open house.
100%. It's the whole process. It's not one piece of the process. It's the entire process altogether. Right. So it's leading up to marketing, having a warm, inviting atmosphere, lead capturing while you're there at the open house, and then bringing it home with the follow-up afterwards.
Good. So that's about it for today, all the questions I have for you. Thanks for coming, Lindsay.
Happy to help.
If you have an open house you're looking at doing, remember all these facts and tips and tricks that we mentioned here today. If you have any questions whatsoever, if you need help, put some comments down below. Like, subscribe, share. We'd love to hear from you. With that, we'll see you next time.